Okay guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna do something simple, which is left and right threading. What is threading if you didn't know yet? See this foot here? I'm gonna pull the other leg through. Maybe I can grab my knee, pull it through, grab the knee, pull it out. See, basically when you pull a body part through another body part from a hole that you literally made with your body, that's called threading. Now today we're gonna keep it very simple. Now, sometimes you see these guys and they do something like this. They sit on their butt like this and they do this. Like they do a thread, maybe they do a double thread, they do something crazy, and maybe they do a freeze. In a way, you can say that's nothing wrong with it, but sadly there's no dynamic in there. And because there's no dynamic in there, you will get sort of that, okay, it's stale and not really moving, so is it a dance or is it just movement? And then, like also about the musicality, yeah, maybe you move one body part, you isolate everything, but it's a little bit better if everything is dynamic. But it's very simple to play with this, and when you make these threads and these movements and everything, the idea is that you make them flow, right? So everything needs to flow till you're ready to catch that beat or that pose. And as always, this is always the case with anything you do. There can be exceptions on the rule, right? Maybe you really want to sit completely still and do something on purpose, and that's totally fine. But in general, that doesn't look that good, that doesn't look that flowy, right? Because you're sitting still. But there's an easy trick to fix this, and you can just simply do this. Now, when you do this a million times, it might look a little bit dumb, but what you have to remember is sometimes you just do the movement 2-3 times, and it will look fine. If you keep doing it, obviously, a great practice, but it doesn't look as good. But let's follow along. So the first thing we're going to do is simply place our elbow to the side like this and sit with our butt up in the air like this. Now notice that I grab my bottom foot. So all I'm going to do is a single thread, and right when I pass, I'm going to let go. So I hope you followed this far. I have multiple tutorials about threading, so this is not that hard. Now we're going to use this hand to push over. We keep the butt on the floor and we simply land on the other side. Ra, do it again. Ba, ba, ta, ta, ta. Now I'm going to place my hand in the middle, step out, and now I'm back into the footwork position. So whenever you do something like back rocks or anything on your butt, like I'm on my butt now, and like I'm doing like, let's say this, but now I need to find a way to get out of that predicament however I can, right? So that's your job, sort of. You need to make these transitions work. If you get for instance, yesterday I trained with someone, but instead of she made the transitions correctly, but then instead of making it easy for herself, she kept making it harder and getting into harder and harder positions. The idea is that you get into your safe zone, and your safe zone is actually either the CC position like this, and make the CC or the 6-step here, or it's in the back, which is also safe. Another safe zone is in a freeze. So if you're in a freeze, well, you already know, right? You can do all kinds of power moves, all kinds of freeze combos, and obviously pop into footwork. So the idea is when you make these transitions that you get into your safe zone, guys. But let's do it again. It's very simple. Let's do it very slow. See this? I make a small thread, push, let myself fall. Now, don't do this. Watch. Push, grab, go. In the transition, you grab the foot, pull, right? And it's like quite flowy. Very easy, not too hard, right? So, this is very easy. You can play with this and do all kinds of stuff with it, but let's make it slightly harder. So this is a different thread, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna grab the foot. Now, what I'm gonna do, this is important that you point the foot and pull, like this, see that? So in this thread, if you point your foot, this will happen. See, my foot connects, so it's hard. So I pull my leg in. In this thread, if you pull your leg in, you can't go through, so you point your foot. Now what I'm going to do, as I push over, switch hands. So I didn't let go yet, and enter. So it's like this, that, transition, this, that, transition, this, that, transition, tu-tu-ta, tu-tu-ta, right? Very easy and good to play with. Of course, you can switch it up, right? Let's say you do one time this, they go here, and here you actually switch it up with the other one. So see, you can play in many ways to get in and out of that. So that's the whole concept. Of course, it's not that hard to get on your butt. I hope you got this far. But basically, if you just drop yourself, it's already fine, right? I'm right there. You can start playing with these threads. Let's quickly find a way to get out of there simply so we have it, right? So if we do this thread right here, notice that I'm in that elbow position. I'm simply going to place this foot, this one. I'm going to simply place it on the floor. And as I'm now simply going to stand, I pull this leg away. I can make a single thread with the arm and do whatever I want. So that's a great way to get out of there while still keeping that thread thing going. So yet again, to repeat everything, it's not that hard. You grab the foot here, you thread and push at the same time, then you grab the foot and push. Here we can do this, grab, pull, connect, grab, right, like that, pull, connect, so you can play with that. To get out of there, you have to find sort of different ways, which hopefully is very dope, or connect. That's your job, sort of, right? You have to make these combos work. So if you have something, that's cool, but you have to make them work. Now, one good thing about this, see, I'm very low, but if you do these threads from your hands, you can actually fall, right? So basically, we hope you stick the thread, but let's say you do fall. You can literally work with it and just keep the combos going. So I like to use a spider freeze or something in between. But let's say I do a thread right now, right? But while I do it, I just pull through and do that spider freeze, connect. Here I can do all that shit that this did, right? Connect out. So instead of like, okay, I'm falling, I'm just gonna lay there and cry, you try to flow on. And that's great practice. Obviously, you wanna stick that freeze as good as you can. That's your goal. But if it doesn't work, you flow out of it and in of it. That's the way that you battle, at least, and jam and cypher at least, because basically falling is a no-no, right? So in practice it's kind of fine, but still try to find these ways. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoy it. See you next time.